Hello, this is Paulo. Welcome back to From the Pitch Up. This is the Tulip City podcast, and we are here at signing day for Tulip City. So super excited. We got a ton of the guys here, so hopefully you'll be able to meet them. We'll get some guests on, and yeah, just trying to get you to know people. So,
all right, Paulo, go find. I think Coach Cy Hamill, he's the coach for Tulip City. I think he's going to come on the podcast. So, Coach Cy Hamill, just introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
So my name is Greg Seidhamel. I've been a teacher and a coach at Holland High School for 28 years. And 2 years ago, I was asked to be part of Tulip City United, and I jumped at the chance.
Yeah, so we just had our signing. Coach kind of led it, so you'll be able to see that on the social medias. But what are you most excited for this season?
Well, I mean, it starts and ends with the players. You know, getting to know them, working with them, trying to blend them into a team that can play to the best of their abilities. That's the most important thing for me. So, I tend to be player focused, making sure that we do everything we can to represent our city in the best possible way.
Yeah, so this is year 2 for Coach Greg, and you had a good first successful season with us finishing second place. How many returners are we having, and who are you most excited to see back?
Oh, that's a tough question. So I don't know the statistics. I haven't broken down the roster yet to know how many returners, but we have a good number of returners. We have a lot of new players, which is exciting. As far as who am I most excited about, I can't answer that. That's like saying which is your favorite child. You know, I'm excited to see the team play, because the way we're going to be the most successful is if we work together as a team. So, but I will say this, and I will say that last year we had a ball. We didn't know what we were doing, but we had a great time. We came within a hair of being top of the league, giving up a goal for a tie in stoppage time in a game against the Grand Haven Admirals. This year, I think we're padding our season a little bit by having so many talented players from so many different schools. I think we have 10 different colleges and universities. I know we have at least 5 different countries represented on our team. So there's just a lot to be excited about.
Yeah. And I guess last question, why should Holland locals come to watch our games, and why should they support the club?
That's a great question. I think the city of Holland loves soccer. This city, a small city in West Michigan, supports the West Ottawa High School, Holland Christian, who just won a state championship, Holland High School, the Black River programs. There are a lot of soccer fanatics in this city, and to play the level of soccer that we're hoping to play at the Holland High School soccer field, our home pitch, against some of the better teams in Michigan, I think there will be a lot of fans at our games. I think they'll be exciting, and I think we're adding to the summer culture of Holland, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for having me on. We'll have a Coach Greg specific podcast soon, but thank you for being on for right now.
Thank you, man. Thanks for all you
do.
do.
Of course. And before we get our next guest on here, I just want to shout out Tulip City Brewery for letting us have this event. I mean, they aren't charging us. They're our partners, one of our sponsors. So just wanted to shout out them before moving on to the next guest. So our next guest is Olee Olsen. Fun fact, he was my roommate last year at college, and I still live with him. So Hope College, first year on the team. Olee, what are you excited for?
I'm just excited to, just play on Tulip City, make new friends, just have fun on the soccer field, to be honest.
So what made you want to join Tulip City?
So just going to Hope College, it's close to the area, and I just love Holland as a community as well, so it's great to be here.
And how long have you been playing soccer? What club did you play for? What high school did you play for?
I've been playing soccer ever since I was young, obviously, probably around like age 7 or 8. Grew up in Caledonia, Michigan, somewhere near Grand Rapids. Started playing at what used to be Grand Rapids Crew, which is now Midwest United, so yeah, great club. And I also played in Detroit for a little bit at Varda Academy, so yeah.
And last question, what can we expect from Olee Olsen this season? What position? How many goals? What are we waiting for?
So as you heard from the send-off, I might be playing defense or forward, so hopefully a couple clean sheets, hopefully a couple goals or some assists as well, so yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Olee. Thank you, Olee. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. There you go. All right. What's your name? Jake Lyon. Jake. All right. Nice to meet you.
Jake is a returner. Last season actually played winger for us. Bagged himself a couple goals, but this season he is switching over to the defense. So, Jake, what are you excited for? What are you excited about the transition to defense?
I feel like I play better at center back, even though I had a great time up top. You know, who doesn't love scoring? I feel like I can contribute more to the team playing in the back line, and I'm really excited to prove that.
Love it. Jake, I just want to get some details about where you grew up playing soccer, how many years, what high school did you play at, and where do you currently play?
So I grew up in Marshall, Michigan. Never really had too much club experience. Stayed in Marshall because I wanted to run track. So I played from when I was 3 all the way up to senior high school in Marshall. Now I currently am a senior at Hope College. Very exciting stuff. We're hoping to do big things this year.
So, what do you study at Hope?
Economics and environmental science.
And what are you looking to do with that, Jake Lyon?
I'm hoping to work in sustainability, but if I'm being honest, we're just still trying to figure it out. But hopefully we find a sustainability job.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, thank you, Jake, for coming on, and excited to see what you do this season. So
It was a pleasure.
So we have our next guest all the way from Brazil, playing for Muskegon. How excited are you for the season?
I'm very excited to play for Tulip City. My teammates welcome me so well on the tryouts, and I feel very excited to play with them, and I love it.
When did you come to America? Did you play soccer in Brazil? What was that environment like?
So yeah, I play soccer in Brazil my whole life. Since we're born in Brazil, we already are playing soccer. And I was recruited by Muskegon Community College. To be honest, I didn't even know Michigan existed when I was back in Brazil. But it was the best offer I got out of all the JCs I was trying to come. So that's why I came to Muskegon.
How is the soccer culture different in Brazil than it is here in the States?
Here, to be honest, you guys have a lot of sportsmanship. Soccer in Brazil is a dirty sport, you know. Fights every game, you know. We like to dribble, and defenders don't like to be dribbled, so every time we dribble, they kill me, you know. But here in America is a lot of physicality, and I think it's good for me to have my Brazilian background and then the American experience. I think it made me a complete player, you know.
Yeah, what are you studying at Muskegon Community College? What are you looking to do after you graduate?
So my major right now is health sciences, and of course, if I don't get to be pro in this sport, I want to at least continue on the sport. So I was trying to be, I don't know, a sportive physiotherapist, work at some MOS club or any other professional soccer club in the world. So I just want to keep doing what I love, being around soccer, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, you know. So if you were given the opportunity, would you transfer out of MCC to a bigger university or, you know, maybe professionally?
Yeah, so actually, 1 week ago I just committed to Washington University, you know. So I'll go to Washington, D.C. On August. I'll play for them in this fall. So thank you.
Breaking news, breaking news. I'd love to see it. And last question, what are you excited to do this summer? How are you going to bring leadership to the team? What are you going to bring to the team?
So last summer, I was supposed to play the summer league for Muskegon Risers, but I had an ankle injury that took me off. And it was very sad to be the whole summer without playing soccer. So I'm just excited to play, to practice, because I love practice, because for me practice is playing soccer. So I just want to be around soccer the whole summer and to be ready for my fall season for my new university, you know.
Thank you so much, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a returner, Andrew Marsh, and he played goalkeeper for us last season, and he's returning this season. As you can see from the camera, he is quite tall. Honestly, a lot taller than right now because we're sitting down. But he's a big guy, and we're just super excited to have him back. Marsh, what are you excited for this season? I mean, you got a little taste last season of what the team is like, but what are you excited to do this season? What are you going to do different from last season?
Yeah, I'm excited to try and go for the lowest goals conceded again. That was huge to accomplish that for the team and myself as well. Really excited to have the returning players come back. It was some really fun chemistry with the team, and seeing some of these new players come out and play with us is going to be a joy. The thing that I want to do different, I want to win the league this year. Let's win the league.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I know last year the team was fun to be around, fun to play with. I mean, just some fantastic guys, and this year it's even more diverse, even better players, even better colleges. What are you going to bring leadership-wise? You're a little older, one of the older guys on the team. What are you going to bring leadership-wise that's maybe different from what you learned last season, that you can kind of just get guys to buy in maybe a little bit sooner than we did last season?
Yeah, great question. I think that since I've been in some of these situations before, and I am older and have the insight that the boys haven't necessarily experienced before, that they will listen and actually take some constructive criticism this year, which was huge last year because we didn't take that very well right off the bat. So, yeah.
You know, I'm super excited, and I think looking forward, last season we had a couple games that we kind of bottled it last second, and we didn't. It was the first year playing together, and this year we're just gonna have so many returners, kind of have more of that chemistry going. I guess what did you love about being in Holland last summer? What did you love about the environment at the Holland High games? I mean, that Barings game was insane.
Yeah.
I guess what do you love about the Holland environment? Our fans. What did you learn from last year? What are you excited to see this year from our fans?
Yeah. I mean, playing at Holland High School and playing for Tulips is massive. Even playing in college, you didn't have the same atmosphere that you do here. Because people in the collegiate games, people come out because it's just something to do. Whereas here, they want to be here. They are energized to be here, and everything is just so much, I think, enhanced. The crowd's there for the highs and the lows, and they're right there with the players, experiencing everything. So, the whole atmosphere of it is just phenomenal.
Yeah. So I kind of want to ask you about, I guess, what do you do in the wintertime for soccer? What do you do when you're not playing for Tulip City? Where are you playing?
I play a lot of indoor rec, mainly MSA Woodland, and when I get a chance, I'll find some co-ed teams out in Jenison Soccer Zone. So that's basically the extent of my off-season training. I mean, I'm still playing 2 to 3 times a week, but yeah.
It's been super cool, kind of seeing all the diverse people, because you got guys that are coming from community college. I mean, we got guys saying that they want to transfer to D1 teams. We got guys that are playing for D1 teams. We got guys playing for D3 teams, and we got Marsh, who's an absolute baller and played fantastic for us, who's playing rec leagues on the weekend. So it's just so cool to see the diverse mold of guys on that field, and that's I think the most exciting thing about this specific podcast right now is you guys get to see the diverse player setting that we have. My last question is, I guess, how do I phrase this? Why Tulip City? Why did you come back? What do you love about the club?
Okay, yeah. So back when the club initially started, I'm a Zealand boy, so hop, skip, and a jump from Holland. So when I heard that we were putting together a semi-pro team, I was like, yes, I want to go out for that. Yeah, community pride. But what brought me back was the staff. Not only the coaching staff, but like the administration staff. Like they care for their players. They care for the community around it. Like they want the best players that they can have. They want to treat them the best that they can, and they want the best that they can get for the community. And that was a huge thing for me. Like especially in today's day and age, where like everybody's like trying to go out for number one. But no, they're all about the community and how about building it up. And so I was like, yes, let's go play for them. Let's come back. Like so.
I love it, love it. Thank you so much, Marsh, for coming on, and excited for the great season. Excited for some clean sheets.
Yeah,
so
let's get it, bro.
let's get it.
Let's get it.
Thanks, Marsh.
Yep.
All right, who do we have here, Paulo?
We have recently graduated Nick Kubert returning to the team from last year. Excited to have you back, Nick. What are you excited for this season?
Yeah, so with the new group of guys that we have coming in, I'm super excited to get to know them, and I think that we have really improved our quality and our depth from last year, and I'm looking forward to see how that results on the field, and hopefully we can get to the top of the league.
Yeah, Coop. So where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where did you play club soccer? What's kind of gotten you to this point?
Yeah, so I started off, I grew up Rochester Hills, Michigan. I played for a small club pretty much most of my youth years. I played at Carpathia, the Carpathia Kickers, for probably until freshman year of high school. Moved to Vardar for a little bit, trying to get a little more exposure, especially for colleges. And then went to nationals for my junior and senior year to play with a couple more friends, and then they were probably the better team. So just to get playing with quality players and going to showcases and getting exposure to college coaches was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I know this question, but Kubi, what did you study at Hope, and what are you looking to do afterwards? What do you have lined up?
So at Hope, I studied mechanical engineering, a mathematics minor, and I will be starting a position at Gentex in Holland. That'll be starting about like 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to staying in the area, being close to everyone, being close to Hope, and then obviously close in the area to play this summer. So.
Yeah, so I've been kind of asking these questions to a lot of the returners, but why did you return to the team? What kind of drew you in from last year? What did you like about the club so much? Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the bond that we gained as teammates last year, I think I grew close with a lot of the guys, and I had just a fun time playing over the summer with these guys, being competitive, kind of pushing each other to the next step, and that's something that I wanted to continue to do even if I graduated and wasn't playing college soccer next year.
Perfect.
So you just graduated Hope, got a full-time job. That's really exciting. Congratulations. And then you're playing for Tulip City. So why did you want to play for Tulip City and, probably give back to the community?
Yeah, instead of maybe just working and kind of watching the games, why come back and why continue to play the sport?
Yeah, I think a big factor was just the fans. Last year was an incredible experience being able to play in front of hundreds of people. Rivaling numbers that we would get at like a Hope College soccer game. It was just a great experience to play in the summer, playing in front of a home crowd, and that sort of experience. Just having fun with it, and it was a different experience playing in front of those type and like the fans that are kind of have grown up and lived in Holland versus maybe like some students that I grew close to in college. But it's just a different overall experience with the fans, with the team, and with the community.
Thank you, Kubi. I appreciate you for coming on, and have a great rest of your time.
All right, so we're with Gabe. He's actually one of the bartenders here. You get started, and how'd you find about Tulip City?
Actually, we were founded in October 2019, and 5 months before COVID happened. And we had a sister location, Hopland, and we started that up August of 2018. So it was an aggressive expansion into this. So for us, yeah, it just happened, and fell in our laps, and we're just kind of trying to build from there. But we made it through the pandemic, and we're still holding on, and we're lucky to actually be y'all sponsors a little bit. And so, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's weird seeing a bar with a whole like warehouse full of like, well, right behind this you have darts, pool, foosball, cornhole. I remember you guys used to have bocce ball too.
Yeah, when we first opened up, we had this whole idea that we wanted to make this room a separate entity of its own, as far as a free community to be able for people to come in, have fun with their family, friends, anybody. We had a bocce ball right where we're sitting. Yeah. You remember that? We had a bocce ball court right here. And that didn't work out very well for us, obviously. So we pulled that, and we pulled in some dartboards and everything like that. So it was, like I said, it's been a journey for us, and we definitely been enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, most bars don't have this, and then most bars have kitchens, but your guys' like kitchen area is a food truck called Spice Boys.
Yes, absolutely. Spice Boys, oh gosh. That man, the owner's main owner Sam, one of my closest friends, and the owner here, Rick, they came up with Spice Boys right before the pandemic was going to happen, and right when we opened, and ever since then, like, it's just been taking off. Like, the tacos are great, the burritos are great. Any special that they put on the menu, does absolutely phenomenal, and like, I've absolutely loved the food. Everybody, the community's been wanting it. People come in here sometimes, they're sad because we're not open today for it, and I've had so many phone calls for it, screening. But like I said, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, like, you've had it before, your family's had it before, and so we just like it's gonna keep on growing more and more and more.
Yeah, I mean, what I like to say to people back when I go to school, it's like, dude, Tulip City, a hidden gem. It is a very hidden gem. I mean, especially, I'm surprised more college students aren't here, especially with all this and so much room to do activities with. And I mean, most of the bars downtown, you got the Dirty Bird, you got you got Big Lake, you got New Holland with their steins on Wednesdays. I mean, you guys are just a hidden gem for drinks.
Oh, thank you so much. And like I said, we're what you call, I tell people all the time, we're what you call a brewstillery. So that means we're a full brewery, distillery, and a winery. We do all three commodities. I tell people we don't do flights. Give her some samples, people to try, of course. And then, like I said, we have our own vodka, spice rum, and blue agave spirit. Can't call it tequila, so we have to call it something, you know what I mean? So it's just how we roll with it. And like I said, we make a little bit of for everything, for everybody. So if you have friends that are not beer drinkers, but they're wine drinkers, we have wine. And if they're not beer drinkers, they're cocktail drinkers, and we have that. So everything we have is like we try to accommodate. And like I said, we're slowly trying to expand it to a little bit more and a little bit more, having a little more more cocktails, more beers, more variety for people.
Yeah, so I just ordered this one. Gabe, if you could tell me a little bit about this, what it has in it, and then your 3 top drinks here.
Ooh, okay, that's kind of a loaded question there, my good sir. But what you're drinking right now is the Tequila Sunrise, or the Sunrise, quote unquote. It is made with our own 100% pure blue agave nectar spirit, and then it's orange juice and grenadine. So, like I said, it's versatile cocktail, and it's like I said, we want to make sure like the cocktail's good and they're quick, and so we can actually help our customers a little more quicker, because like, you've been in here when it gets busy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we run about 7 to 8 deep on the rail, and we're just trying to make sure everybody's taken care of in the proper manner. But yeah, so like I said, the top 3, honestly, right now, as far as the beer is concerned, has been the Chantucket. It's wonderful. It's nice, malty, medium body, just nice, slightly dryish finish. And then as far as wine concerned, my favorite is the Queen of the Night, Cab Sav. Can't ever go wrong with that. It's a Chilean Cab Sav. And then as far as cocktail, it's a stretch, man. Like right now, everybody, like it's like people are going either for palomas, they're going for strawberry besitos, they're going for ranch waters, margaritas, which we have 4 different styles. And so it's just like, it's a limited amount of things you can do with them, so which is great.
Well, Gabe, thank you for coming on the podcast sporadically. I mean, we kind of just turned it into my podcast, honestly. I mean, drink's refreshing. It's great. Tastes like summer, which I'm hoping we have with this cold weather.
Please make its way back. We had that, 2 or 3 days of 70-degree weather that was just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And then we got snow. So.
All right, well, thank you, Gabe. I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, see ya.
So Tom Sasso, if that is correct. We don't really have a name or role for Tom, but he kind of keeps our merch. So, yeah, Tom, I guess, could you kind of tell us what you do a little bit for the club and why you do it mostly?
Sure. So I have done merchandise for bands growing up from like 16 to 25. So I like merchandise. I like organizing it. I like inventorying it sometimes. So currently I am inventorying and holding all of our merchandise. So if you go onto our website, tulipcityunited.com, click on the store and purchase something, someone in the club will get an email and they'll reach out to me and say, hey, I need this merch. I will find it. I will get it to you somehow. But yeah, I just kind of take care of the merch. I've got a lot of ideas for merchandise, and I think we've got some new stuff coming out this season.
Yeah, so I guess how did you get involved with the club? How did you reach out to the club? And why do you continuously do this when you don't have to? I mean, yeah, it's a passion for you, but I feel like you show up to our board meetings. You don't have to be there. So, yeah, why do you engage with Tulip City?
Sure. So I originally got involved that first year right when COVID hit. So they had the players signing at DeBoer's Bakery, and I went to that, and I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. I can get involved, something fun for the community. And then obviously we had a pandemic. But here we are, and last season was so much fun. I stayed in touch with Matt Davis, and he was just like, hey, we need help. Do you want to help out with anything? And I was absolutely, it was no questions asked. Showed up to a few games, helped sell merchandise, talked to people, shouted a little. I think I sprayed you with confetti after a game once. But I'm involved because I like community, and something that Tulip City United has been doing really well is forming community. And there's going to be things with merchandise that we want to do of, like community things. Join our season ticket thing, become a supporting founding member, and you get a scarf, and we're going to start doing like painting parties and making big signs for the games. For me, that's my big thing. I like to bring people together that normally wouldn't be together because we enjoy something together. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think right now it's been hard because, I mean, people are coming from that COVID lull, and I think people are searching for that, even though maybe they might not think they are. I mean, as soon as I see people start getting in those environments where they're talking to each other, they're interacting, I mean, I just see their eyes light up, and they're like, I needed this, I missed it. And I think personally for me, for my job, it feels so fulfilling being able to provide that space for people to engage, giving them that environment, I guess. Why do you think it's so important that communities engage with each other? Why is it so important that people kind of hang out and meet each other? And I guess, why do you think people should come out to Tulip City and engage with the community?
Yeah. So Holland so I'm from New Jersey originally, and since I've moved here, one thing I've noticed is Holland has a very diverse community. Do you want me closer? Hi, I love you. Holland is a really diverse community of people, and the more we can get people from different backgrounds, different socioeconomic classes, different everything, different anything together, it shows that Holland has something special, right? It has people that are willing to be people with each other, and I think soccer historically has been a really cool outlet for people of different ethnicities and different races or whatever to come together and just scream at the top of their lungs and high-five each other. Last season, I met a ton of people at the games that would recognize me in the streets or at the store. Hey, you were at the Tulip City game, which is really cool because they could know me from my job, but it's really cool that there was like an aspect of, wait, we're seeing each other in the community, right? So that's what I like about it is I can see Paulo out, I can see whoever out, and if someone's wearing a Tulip City shirt or hat or beanie or scarf, which you could get on tulipcityunited.com, it's really cool to see that and really like interact with each other. I've seen a few people wearing scarves this winter or a beanie here and there, and I was so happy to see that. And I'm like, that's my people. I've never met that person, but that's my people. So it's just something I really like about what the club's doing, and I'm just here for that. Like, I'm here because I like people and getting to know people.
Yeah, I think I've maybe mentioned this on the podcast a couple times, but Holland has a huge Latin community, and as people can see from the name Holland, there's also some Dutch roots. And I mean, what do those two communities have in common? I mean, the Latin community loves soccer, the Dutch community loves soccer, and I think that was probably the coolest thing that I saw coming on, is like, how do we, I guess, bridge that gap that's not normally bridged? Because I mean, there's it's almost like the little center of Holland and then the Latin community outside. How do we merge those? And I think Tulip City has been that perfect merging of those two communities that needed to happen, and I think that's so important for, I think, just culture and people to coexist. And they're not, I mean, it doesn't matter what social class you're from, everyone loves soccer, and I think you see that in England a lot. You see that in a lot of European countries, that you see a community that's so accepting because everyone can mold over one thing. So I guess, have you seen that happen in New Jersey with soccer, or in now in Holland? Are you slowly starting to see that molding?
Yeah, so back in New Jersey, I stopped paying attention to soccer for a while. I went to a couple New York Red Bull games because they play in central New Jersey. And it was always cool just to see the crowd, different people, different races, mixing together. And since I moved here, I was like, oh man, it's very Dutch here. And then I got to know the community and spent more time walking around and going to different stores and realizing, wait, there's like a lot of diversity here. And when you see, like last season was our first season, right? And when you see the crowd really mixing well together of the strong, rich Dutch heritage and the strong, rich Latin heritage coming together and cheering for people that are really representing our city, right? Like, you players are representing our city, our community, and then you look on the field and like look at the player signing today. We had 4 or 5 international players. That's incredible. That is something I had no idea was going to happen, and I saw that and I'm like, okay, here we are. Like, it is strength and diversity and just unity in that, and it's so cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see more of the Holland community come out. Have you mentioned like things that we're doing with like any organizations before? I don't want to like. I don't want to spoil it.
No, we have on previous podcasts mentioned a couple nights that we're doing, but I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get into it next podcast with Matt or with Matt.
Well, so we have a couple podcasts. A couple events that we have planned. But just to tease a little bit, because we'll probably have a specific podcast with the organization and their CEO. But we are having a couple. We mentioned last podcast Olee Night, which is the Latins United for Progress here in Holland. But I think that's what's been so special about working for the club, and what I've loved the most about working for the club. I mean, Matt Davis, who you guys have met, and Matt and Van Zanten, who you guys haven't met just yet, but you will, have these conversations. We talk about how can we engage the Latin community. It's not just, it's a willy-nilly, fluky thing. Like, we have these discussions. We keep these things in mind, and I think that's what I've loved the most about working for Tulip City is, I mean, I'm working with people that are thinking about those things, that have that on the back of their mind, that they care about the community. Tulip City is not a money grab. We're not doing this for money. If we were doing it for money, we would have stopped a long time ago. That is for sure. I think we got people working for the club that like truly do care about community, and that's been the coolest thing. And I mean, you've been a part of the club for a little bit longer than me. Is that partially why you got connected when you met Matt, and why you continuously do this, because you know Matt and you know what he's about, and How do you see that every day when you work with them?
Yeah, so I moving here in 2018 for a while was really seeking a sense of community, right? A place where I kind of have my own little niche where I belong, and I got reinvigorated in soccer, and that was a big draw for me of, this is something that across the globe, soccer is community. It's people together having a great time with each other, and being each other's people, right? Like if anyone from our organization's like, hey, Tom, I need something, cool, I got you. And that's something cool. But yeah, I think that's really like the big driving force for me, and why I'm involved. And, we have a very talented group of individuals that do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that we are thinking about these things, thinking of things like working with LAUP or different organizations to be inclusive and to say not like, hey, come here, but hey, be a part of this. That's what I felt from Matt a lot was, hey, like, you like this, why don't you come on board? Like, why don't you be a part of this? And I mean, I have a full-time job, I'm a full-time graduate student, like, I don't have a ton of time, and this is just a good use of my time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also been what I've noticed the most about the club is because I've seen other clubs. I mean, there's a club in Kalamazoo, there's the clubs in Lansing, and a lot of those clubs they're kind of just owners that are just throwing money at it. And they're not really focused on building a community. And you go to their games and you can tell right away there's no fans. It's quiet. We talked about it a little bit on the first podcast. But this club has really been like, hey, we're not just throwing money at this. We are just fully we're spending more time worrying about the community. How can we get people to stuff? And that's why we're doing events like the Premier League watch parties that isn't bringing any revenue for us, but it's really engaging that community. Yeah. And I think that's why Tulip City will be successful in the future is because in my opinion, doing it the right way. We're starting from the bottom. We're really focused on that community first, and later the money will come. The money will come. The club's growth will come. It's going to be the biggest thing of all time. But yeah, I mean, the reason we're doing this is because of community, and I mean it's been super cool to see and super exciting to see. I guess, what else do you do outside of Tulip City? What other ways do you engage in community? What other ways do you, I guess, find that longing that you need?
Yeah, so my job is an optician. I do glasses for a living, and the office I work at is called Complete Eye Health. We're in Holland. We're right on Lakewood Boulevard. It's weird because, like, we know our patients really well and spend time with them. We get to know them. We've had really cool celebratory moments with life with our patients. We've grieved with our patients. So, like, I love that community. I also volunteer at First United Methodist Church in Holland with the youth group, and I value youth so much, and I think the youth obviously are our future because I'm not getting younger, they're getting older, and to foster the youth to have a voice, to engage in what they have to say and how they feel has been really important for me. I do a professional wrestling podcast with people who I've never met in real life, and we just do it on Zoom, and we talk about wrestling once a week, and we've got a tight-knit community there, and that is something that's been really cool because most of us have never met in person, but like the guy who hosts our show, he just got engaged this weekend. I knew for like 2 weeks that this was happening, and it's just really cool to be a part of these life events with people. So I see a lot of need in the world for people to come together, right? To be with each other, and there's different ways we can do that. We can do that via, a weekly Zoom call. We could do that by going out to lunch with each other, having a beer with each other. We can do that through soccer. We can do that through stuff like this. It's, hey, like, we're from different places, but we have a common interest. That brings us together, and that's just something really, really cool, and it's unique. And I honestly, like, full transparency, it's not something I expected to find in Holland when I moved here. And this has really made living here, like, yeah, this is something I like. Like, I am proud of this. I am proud to be some sort of a part of the Tulip City United organization.
Yeah, no, for me it's been super cool, and I mean, we kind of plan these events and we plan all this stuff, and it's starting to feel like Tulip City is more than just a club. It's more than a soccer club. It's a community. It's truly a community. I mean, I'm thinking about maybe doing golf outing with the soccer guys in the summer, and it has nothing to do with soccer, but it's still this same community. It's still part of the same thing. I mean, how do we engage people in different stuff? It doesn't even have to just painting, hanging out. I mean, soccer got us together, but now we want to do more stuff than just soccer. That's what we want Tulip City to be. It's Tulip City United Soccer Club, but we could easily just take off the soccer club and just be a community and a family. And I think that's been super cool to see the club turn into, and I just can't wait to see the growth. What are you excited for, I guess, Tulip City to become in the future, or for you to see it become?
Yeah, this year I'm more excited for this season than I thought I would ever be. The amount of work that has gone into this, the really cool sitting in on some of those meetings and hearing the dreams and aspirations of this season. I think I'm most excited for. We are going to be in the stands, and we're going to be yelling, and we're going to be singing, and we're going to be jumping up and down, and we're going to have a great time. And I want to see you, the person watching this, I want to see you there. If you see me at the game, give me a high five. I'm a hugger. Feel free to come up and hug me. Maybe, let me know first, but feel free. I want to meet you. I want to get to know you. I want to jump with you and celebrate with you. And when Paulo scores another 200 goals this season and we win the championship, and I can go to every other team and say, boo, yay. That's what I want. I see the club winning the championship, especially after the players that were announced today that signed their contracts. It's incredible. And Coach Greg is I complimented him privately, but I'm going to compliment him publicly. He knows the players. Every player at this signing today, he knew things about them, and not just stupid little facts. He knows them, and seeing that our coach, the person who's spearheading this stuff on the field, knowing the players on his squad, that's a community. We're following that. We're following by example. We want to get to know you. We want you to get to know us. Come be a part of Tulip City United. That's what I'm excited for. I'm excited for this season. The city of Holland becoming one group of folks that are just going to jump and scream together and just spend time with each other.
All right. Well, I mean, a lot of information just threw at us. Just shake it out. That was an electric saying what you said. But, I mean, it seems like you're really passionate. It seems like you have passion towards the club, towards what you do, and we love to see that, especially for a soccer club that has passion, unity, and then, growth. So we love to see that.
Yeah, weird. I'm going to go get a beer. I did not get a drink yet.
He is going to get a beer and enjoy the event a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can maybe get another guest on here. But thank you so much for being on, and we might have a Tom Sasso-specific podcast coming soon.
That'll be something.
Hey, leave it in the comments if you want to see more of him. That's all I'm saying. If I get enough, I will pester him. I'll send him a couple texts telling him he needs to come on.
You get 10 strangers that don't know me to say, we want Tom Sasso on there, I'll come back.
There we go. 10. All we need is 10. 10 people in the comments.